Bomber Crew. This is my review of the video game Bomber Crew. So first of all, I'm going to say that the game is well done. It's very original. It's fun. It's a little bit challenging. I liked playing it. However, it gets boring after a while because you're basically going to be doing the same things over and over again. The number of missions that you have, you're going to be doing the same missions over and over again. See how it says Wurzburg radar site? You're going to see this mission over and over again. You're going to keep on going back to it. So there's a limited number of missions. The other thing about this game that's interesting is that it can be very difficult at times. You're going to get shot down a lot. You're going to lose your crew, your plane, and everything you've invested. You're going to lose everything. The game can be a little bit unfair. And the reason why is because you're going to go and you're going to be like, I have to click on this guy and tell him to go over here, and he's not going to move, and you're not going to understand why. And then you're going to realize, well, I clicked on him, but maybe I clicked on him a little bit wrong. Or when you click on the destination, you have to highlight the mouse perfectly, and if you don't, he doesn't go. And all the characters look the same, so when they're on the aircraft, you're going to be like, you're going to get them confused, and they're going to end up in the wrong position, and some of them are going to die very quickly, and you're going to send a guy to go help another guy, and he's going to die on his way over to help the guy, and then you're going to send another guy to go help, and he's going to die on his way over, and you're going to do things like the bomber that operates the gun site, the bomb site, is right next to the pilot, and you're accidentally going to move the pilot when you meant to move the bomber, and then your plane's going to have no pilot, and it's going to crash. And I think things happen where there might be a fire where the pilot is, and he'll just get up and leave, and you won't notice that it happens until the plane crashes, and you'd be like, why isn't there a pilot? So there's a few weird things about the game that make it a little bit frustrating. Another thing about the game that makes it frustrating is that it can be difficult to fly because you're looking for a target and it says go in that direction, and you'll go into the overhead mode looking down and you won't see the target, and you'll have passed it and you just don't even realize that you passed it, even though it looks like you did everything right. It was fun. It's not a game that you're going to be spending weeks and weeks and weeks and months playing. So the reason why I bought it, it was on discount. I saw one of my favorite streamers playing it, talking about how much fun he had. He was probably paid to do it. I'm not paid to do my review, which is why my review is honest. This is good for younger people who haven't played a lot of video games. I've been playing since the 1970s. It is a little bit challenging, but the game doesn't have too much depth to it. And I'm not saying that there's no depth to it. I'm just saying if you're an experienced gamer and you've got a lot of choices and a lot of money, eventually you're going to get bored with this game, and it's going to happen a little bit sooner than you think. This is not a game that you're going to pick it up 5 years later and say, I'm going to play this week. You're going to play one or two games, and you're going to be like, okay, I had it. So this is your crew. You have to do things like buy them uniforms and make sure they have good helmet, flight suit, headgear, vest, gloves, boots, etc. And when your plane crashes, you're going to be losing guys all the time. All the money that you're spending on these guys, you're going to keep losing it. You're going to be starting over again and again and again. I know there's going to be someone who's going to say, well, I played this game and I never start over, and every game I fly perfectly and you don't know how to play. You know, there's going to be games where it's going to be really difficult. And you're not going to like the fact that you just spent all your money on getting great crew and then you lose everything. So we'll look at my overview. And I guess it says 34 missions, and I lost 13 bombers. It's a third of the bombers were lost. And some of them were stupid. Like, some of them I lost them while it was landing. 70 crew loss. That's a lot of people. Some of them just fell out of the plane. 91,000, and look how much I have. I have 500. That's how much I lost. There is an option to rescue crew members, but you're not going to rescue a lot of them. So things like training is kind of a waste of time when your crew is dying all the time. The other thing that happens is I think you only have one aircraft to choose from. I'm really not sure. You got to pay like an extra $20 to get another aircraft. And the other aircraft looks really cool. I think if they had included more than one aircraft in the game, I would have been a lot happier. The other thing is when your plane crashes, you kind of start over. The game isn't really clear. Like, I would crash the plane and start over, and the configuration of my plane would be wrong, and I didn't understand why. And it was because they gave me a different plane. So there's certain things you're only going to be able to learn while playing, like how to put out a fire, or how to use a med kit, or how to fly around, or you're going to run out of fuel. You're going to learn the hard way. And I don't like games that don't explain, watch out for your fuel. Don't fly around goofing around too much because you'll run out of fuel. The games don't explain all the different problems you're going to have. You learn because your plane crashes. And you're going to be so careful to say, I want this, I finally got this, I saved my money and I got this, and then you lose your plane and you lose everything. These are the different missions. You see how it says short duration, medium risk? They're kind of all kind of easy. One example is, you see over here it says main campaign progress. Really doesn't explain how it works. But I believe what happens is, once you get to a certain point, you cannot proceed anymore unless you do a high-risk campaign, and it doesn't explain that to you. So you can see that this is how far I got. I haven't completed the game, and I don't know what's going to happen when I get to the end. I really don't. I think these are training points, and that's money. I haven't played in a while. These are the fighter aces you're going to have to go up against. As you can see, I've been confronted by 2 of them so far. Once you get to this point, everything I've shown you, the only other option is to take off the plane. And to be honest, I really don't remember how you do it. I think that was another thing that I didn't like about the game, is that I couldn't figure out how to fly the plane. Like, I'm looking at it right now. Oh, okay. You got to go to the briefing room, I bet. And you got to pick on one of these, and then you got to do begin mission. To be honest, I don't want to fly right now. They do have another version of the game, which is a space-based version, and I believe they have some sort of a pirate version or something like that that was like a flying pirate ship or something. The space-based version, I think, has more features. Again, I'm not going to fly the plane because it takes a long time to come back and land. The air combat was a little bit of a pain. It tells you got to mark targets, but it doesn't really explain why you're marking targets, or if it's necessary, or it tells you a little bit about the radar. Really, you got to learn how to use it on your own. The game really doesn't explain it very much. It'll just say, hey, watch your radar, and that's pretty much it. It gives you minimal assistance. And things like if the navigator walks away, maybe the plane can't fly back home. I don't remember. So there's going to be a lot of things you got to learn by playing the game. It's a very unique game. There's only a few games like this. So there's not a lot of competitors. Number 1, I think it's cute. Number 2, it's a little bit fun. Number 3, it's original. Number 4, it is challenging. As I've stated, I've crashed 30% of the time. So it is a little bit of high pressure. I seem to recall you cannot pause the game, but you can hit a button that can slow the game down a little bit, and you can only use it a few times. So you need time to look at everything that's going on, and there's going to be things going on that you didn't notice. In terms of the price, $10, yeah, I would spend $10 on the game, but this is not a game you're going to spend $40 or $50 on. Okay, this is the game Bomber Crew. That's my review. I do like the game. And if you have any questions or comments, please post below.